happening lately. Somebody in the first hour was up here and she said, we're going to Florida. We need to get away. It's just been too much stress. So I'd like for us to begin with a listening exercise. What I want you to do is, if you have anything on your lap or anything like that, just put it aside. If you are holding hands with somebody, stop holding hands, okay? Maybe a holdover from Valentine's Day, which is a good thing, but I want you to stop holding hands. And I want you to just kind of take a couple of deep breaths and just slowly let them out. And I want you to imagine that somebody has just kind of, you know how piggy bank sometimes has a thing that you turn and the money comes out the bottom? I want you to imagine somebody's done that in the heel of your foot. And now, just picture all of your stress and all of your frustration, all of your concerns about the future. Just let them go. And just imagine them draining out of your foot. And then what I want you to do, it would be good if you would close your eyes. I'm not saying you have to. But this listening exercise is about 3.5 minutes long. And I want you to simply be with God. I want you to be still and to know that He is God. We get to running so much. We just need to be still. And so it starts out with a little bit of music, has a vocal part to it, but just you and God, not you and the person next to you, just you and God, okay? And just listen to a deeper voice, to the Holy Spirit, what the Holy Spirit may be saying to you this morning. What's in your wallet? This is our last Sunday in this series. And looking back, we've thought about things in our wallet that connect us to certain topics that we've discussed. Our possessions, our money, our health, our identity. For years, I carried around in my wallet what many of you may have carried around in yours. A Social Security card. Not advised to carry those around anymore, but I used to have one I carried around in my wallet. And you know, Social Security is simply, for basic understanding, it's just simply where the government takes money from your paycheck, kind of a forced savings account, you know? And they'll put it somewhere with the idea that they want to give you a sense of some security later in life by returning some of those finances to you. Nobody knows the future. Nobody even knows if they're going to get to the point where they collect their Social Security. I shared with one of the classes on Friday evening, and you're thinking about this plane wreck that occurred in Clarence, New York, just outside of Buffalo. I lived 9 years in Clarence, New York, from 1972 to 1981. I was only like 8 years old, but it was in Clarence, New York, about a mile and a half from the crash site, actually, in a church building, the Clarence Church of Christ, that I first saw the lady who was later become my wife. It was in the Clarence Church of Christ that we were married, Clarence Church that I was ordained into the ministry, and in the Clarence Church where my wife's funeral was held. About 2 miles from that church is her gravesite. And when I go up annually to tend to that gravesite, I stay in Clarence Center, New York, with some friends who lived about 70 yards away from where that plane landed. Did I know my future? No. I didn't know my future any more than the people who got on the plane that crashed knew what would be the end of the destination. We just don't know what's going to come down the road. We don't know our futures. A friend and I, a while back, were having this weird kind of discussion. We were talking about what would it be like, would there be any value or not if we were born with an expiration date on the bottom of our feet or stamped on our rear ends, What impact would that have? I mean, when it came to getting married, would you say, let me see the bottom of your foot, or drop your drawers, I want to see what your expiration date is? Because would we set ourselves up for something? There might be a good discussion for you to have in your vehicle on the way home. Would we want to really know our future if we were allowed to know it? Is there value in that or not? Would knowing your expiration date become a prerequisite then for getting married? Would it save someone some pain somehow to know that their child would die at the age of 12? Or would it find them all the time just wanting time to stop? Some of us have been there, haven't we? Wishing that somehow the sun would stand still, that tomorrow wouldn't come, because the future looks somewhat ominous. But it's not just death that's an issue when it comes to the future. There are other questions: married or not, rich or poor, sickness or health, home or apartment, city or country, Iraq, Afghanistan or not, children or no. Some people, when they don't know the future, they're excited about that. Hey, this is an adventure. Let's go grab it. Other people, when they look at the future, they're scared. And they may get depressed, sad, worried, frightened. According to one source,